Hello, welcome to my channel. As always, I bring you an interesting topic about natural phenomena that occur on Earth. This time, I will talk to you about the Bay of Fundy. Where is it located? Why does it have the highest tides in the world? But first, it is important to know the following terms that will allow us to understand why the phenomenon of the highest tides in the world occurs in the Bay of Fundy. What are tides? Tides are the periodic high or low variations that occur in the sea level, which are produced by the gravitational force of the moon and the sun. The modification of the tides occurs every 6 hours. Because the moon is closer to Earth, it produces a greater force of attraction on the waters of the seas and oceans, resulting in an increase in the sea level, which translates into the appearance of high tides. Classification of tides. An important point to mention for you to understand the phenomenon of tides is their classification, which depends on various criteria, among which are tides according to water level. Tides can have different heights during a day. When we talk about high tide or plumar, it refers to the highest level that the sea reaches, which occurs every 12 hours. On the other hand, low tide or bajamar refers to the lowest level of the sea. A curious fact is that if a high tide occurs in one part of the Earth, the opposite pole will have low tide. Tides according to lunar phases. Within this subclassification, we have spring tides, which occur during the full and new moon phases, where, thanks to the alignment of the sun, greater gravitational force is exerted, increasing their volume. Neap tides occur during the waning and waxing crescent moon phases and have less amplitude due to the distance between the sun and the moon, which form a 90-degree angle. Tides are also classified as solar or lunar, depending on the celestial body that causes them. Diurnal, semi-diurnal, and mixed tide. When referring to diurnal tides, it means the number of tides that occur in a day. In this case, one high tide and one low tide occur per day. On the other hand, semi-diurnal tides produce 2 high and 2 low tides in a day. Mixed tides have differences in the height of the low or high tides, which means that when the 2 high and low tides occur, they have different heights. These tides are frequent on the coasts of the Pacific Ocean. Knowing what the effects and consequences of tides are is important to understand what happens in the Bay of Fundy. When tides produce changes in sea level elevation, effects can be observed in coastal regions, including transporting sand and sediment to beaches, forming coasts, feeding estuaries by attracting sediment, nutrients, plants, and marine fauna, increasing the risk of coastal flooding during storms, producing energy. As a curious fact, estuaries are reserves of water that arise from the mixture of fresh and salt water in which various marine animal species are housed. Another interesting fact that should be mentioned is that tides influence flooding and the production of tsunamis. But how can we identify the presence of high or low tides? High or low tides are determined by lunar phases. Mainly, however, other factors can be taken into account to know if we are facing the presence of high or low tides, including foam remnants and other debris, low tide, flora and fauna, low tide, abundance of fish, high tide, high and strong waves, high tide. Regarding low tide, it refers to the moment when the sea level decreases. This phenomenon occurs as a result of gravitational force. A relevant point to mention is that low tide creates low tide pools, where the diversity of the ecosystem can be appreciated, offering a visual spectacle. When referring to high tide, it can be determined by the height of sea waves and their constant activity. These waves are often used for extreme sports such as windsurfing, surfing, jet skiing, water skiing, and kite surfing. To delve into the phenomenon of the Bay of Fundy, it is important to note that it is located on the southern coast of New Brunswick, near St. John. This bay experiences a unique natural phenomenon in that it has the highest tides in the world. Heights of 17 to 21 meters have been recorded. If there is something surprising about the Bay of Fundy, it is that you can be on the water in a boat enjoying the fauna it harbors and then walk on the seabed. The bay is 250 km long and 80 km wide, with a depth of 50 to 150 meters. Its shape is like a funnel, giving it the property of tidal water oscillation within the bay. A curious fact is that the Bay of Fundy is known as the largest bathtub in the world because of the way the tide water oscillates inside it. This phenomenon occurs every 12 hours, and the bay compensates for the height difference due to its narrowness. The bay is divided into two mini-bays, Chignecto and Minas, through which the sea level height difference is more noticeable. Its first inhabitants were the Micmac tribe. A unique experience when low tide occurs is walking on the seabed among the Hopewell Rocks formations, which are a product of sea erosion. The Hopewell Rock towers are 16 meters high, and among them, you will find several trails to explore the seabed, where you will find surprising rocks and fossils. Another natural spectacle in the bay is its fauna, especially the wide variety of birds such as puffins, herons, and albatrosses. In its marine ecosystem, you can enjoy more than 12 species of whales, dolphins, herring, red and silver hake, cunner, mackerel, halibut, rays, and sharks. The Bay of Fundy is a tourist destination popular among nature lovers who can enjoy a pleasant climate, explore the history of nearby towns, and indulge in the rich seafood cuisine of fish, clams, and lobsters. Around the bay, you can enjoy incredible landscapes with typical flora and fauna of the area, as well as witness the highest tides in the world. In conclusion, the Bay of Fundy is a natural phenomenon of surprising beauty that offers a wide range of recreational activities. It is a natural park where the highest tides in the world occur, and during low tide, you can walk on the seabed, enjoying the immense rocky formations formed by erosion from the sea. Visiting the Bay of Fundy will allow you to enjoy a unique and versatile spectacle where you will find an ecosystem with a wide marine biodiversity of fauna and flora. If you are passing through Canada, do not miss the opportunity to visit this magical recreational space. Nature is unpredictable, and understanding how tides originate is crucial for activities such as fishing. Additionally, coastal towns should know everything about tides to be cautious in case of flood. But if you want to learn more about the various natural phenomena that occur around the world and other topics related to natural ecosystems, you only need to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon.